Welcome back to a new Boca in English podcast. My name is Facundo Zalazar, here with Rodrigo Azurmendi. Rodrigo, how are you today?
I'm doing well, man. I'm just kind of like I feel like I needed a little bit of a break from Boca, but now it's like now that we're like close enough to the return of play, my kind of like anxiety is and excitement is going back up. But like, good to have you back, man. Like, we missed you last time. Definitely want to hear your experience. You were at all the games in the Club World Cup, so yeah, man, just good to have my partner back.
Yeah, it was good. It was good, man. Sorry that I missed last week. It's just like it was a mess. I know that you guys wanted to record with Nico, and I appreciate you guys doing it, but it was just a mess. Traveling. I was very tired. My knee was hurting so much that I had to rest. When
Yeah.
after 15 days of nonstop, I had to rest a little bit, and I couldn't log in. I had to work because sometimes you got to work to pay for these trips, right?
Yep.
But
Yep.
it was good, man. I think that just to give you guys a few minutes of the World Cup, I think it was one of the best things I experienced as a Boca fan outside of the country, right? So I mean, I've been to a million Copa Libertadores finals in Argentina and like Brazil and whatnot. But having Boca now here in our hometown, the U.S. where we live, in Miami where I live, um, with my family, it was just insane. The insane part of it is like a lot of people came from Argentina, and I specifically reconnected with a lot of friends. Right, I saw people from high school, I saw people from primary school, you know, all people that I haven't seen in years. Come here, visit, and be part of this. It was just incredible. From start to finish, from the first banderazo, which is insane. It was a lot of people from the first game against Benfica, where about 50,000 people were in the stadium. Just to summarize the first and the second game, because the week was pretty much Boca everywhere, all the time. You were walking on the street in Miami, and it was Boca jerseys everywhere.
Yep.
I've never seen anything like this for so many consecutive days, right? Because usually that's like a very World Cup concert when you go to Qatar or Russia, and you see Argentinians, but you also see people from Iran, people from Turkey, people from USA, people from Europe. But here Miami was a non-stop of 10 days of just Boca fans everywhere,
Yep.
and it was just incredible. Like I never see anything like this anywhere. Because again, when you travel to when you play Palmeiras in Brazil, it's only like a 1 or 2 day thing, right?
Yep.
Like even Rio. In Rio, I went one day before the game and I left one day after the game. So max
Same
was
here.
3 days.
Yeah.
Same for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But here it was a constant 10 to 12 days of nonstop Boca fever. And people, you saw the videos online, like the Americans, the people from the US were mind blown. They didn't know what was happening. And then went to Nashville, and I mean, you already felt what Miami was, but then you go to Nashville in the middle of the country, like it or not, a place that they've never seen anything like this. And
Yeah.
if you've never been to Nashville, it's like a very music town, right? So you have
Yep.
3 to 4 blocks with just bars and people playing live music. In every single bar, there was people wearing Boca shirts, and people singing. And even in one bar, we got kicked out because the guys were like, "This is, I mean, you gotta get out. Like, this is no fun for the rest of the people,"
Yeah.
which makes sense. But then in other bars, the singers were grabbing our flags, putting the jerseys on. People were coming to us like, "What's happening? Like, who's playing tomorrow?" Americans usually don't know much about what's going on besides, American football, baseball, and maybe basketball.
Yeah.
So when you bring a sport and they see all this, like it was insane. I never seen anything like that. Even just chatting with Americans, are like, I cannot believe that it's like even in Nashville, like 20,000 of you guys, and they're like, yeah, we come from Argentina. It's like, what do you mean Argentina? Or like we're way far from where you guys are from, and just for a soccer game, they didn't get it. And it was beautiful. And then you sat down and chatted with random people from Argentina. What are you doing here? How long you staying? It makes me feel again once again that Boca is family. I
Yeah.
even met somebody that listened to the podcast. He never seen a Boca game, and he approached me in the Banderazo in Nashville, he saw a picture that we posted on Twitter,
Yeah.
and he said, "Hey, are you Facundo from Boca in English?" I said, "Yeah," and we started chatting. And he's a guy that lives in LA. I couldn't go to Miami, but he went to Nashville. He said, "I don't have a ticket for tomorrow." I said, "Dude, I got you." So I got him a ticket. I picked him up on the Uber. We pregame. He sat next to us. It was like 6 or 7 of us in the stadium, including him. And then it was family. He later texted and said, "Dude, that was one of the best experiences I had."
Of
That's
course.
what it is. And I absolutely loved it. To be honest, I really hope we qualify to the next one because the feeling that I had during these 15 days were great. It's just nonstop Boca passion. Even though we only got 2 points out of 9, we showed the world that we're going to be there for the club no matter what. And people didn't understand it. Like, what do you mean? Like, you're packing stadium with you guys are a terrible team. Because, like
Yeah.
or not, we are a terrible team right now.
Here we are.
And and we're going to be there. And we're always going to be there. Like the song says, coaches will leave, players will leave. Everybody will leave, but the fans will always be there with Boca. So once again, we show the world what we are. And we're for the next one.
Yeah, no, for sure. And obviously, we try to inspire the players, and we try to inspire the decision makers that like this passion is worth investing on. It's worth just putting the effort on, because you'll be rewarded. And just the one thing I wanted to add in terms of family, like I got to meet your family, and I thought it was really cool, not just with your family, but with you could just see other people, like seeing like multiple generations of Boca fans. I got to see your parents. I got to see, I think it was like your niece, right? Your brother. It's just so cool, man. Seeing like the whole family at a Boca game. And it wasn't just your family, it was like so many families, so many little kids, like so many like kind of like just older people. And it was such a cool experience. And it wasn't like like a lot of people are like, oh, fans are like really unruly and they behave badly. And like this was like a party. It was a celebration, throughout all the games. And I don't know, just the atmosphere was such an electric wave of like positivity and support and love. So I really really love to see that. And that's kind of what I'll remember the most from the experience.
Yeah, one of the things that I love about this, and most of these people never seen Boca play, right?
Yeah.
Some of them, maybe they were born here. Some of them, they're not even a member of the club and they can never go.
Yeah.
And and the stadium was packed and people singing nonstop, like friends had never been to a Boca game and now they're in the US and they can do this. And I love that. The fact that lately some of the clubs in Argentina became very where the only same 60,000, 70,000 people go to the same stadium every game. And the fact that he has 60,000 people that play, maybe 50,000 never been to a Boca game, but it changes the perspective of the game, the atmosphere. People are like new to this and they're like chanting and trying to prove that they're as, as important to the crowd as other people that go every game to La Bombonera, right? So I absolutely love that. I have friends that they love Boca from all over the world and they've never been to a game and they got there and they didn't stop singing. Like also that's the thing that Boca fans have. Like it catches you, that feeling that you had to be singing, right? Like I
Yeah.
invited two of my wife's friends and one is from Colombia, one is from Venezuela, and they were mind blown by the fans, but also 15 minutes in, they're like, well, I had to sing as well, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not gonna be just not part of this. I want to call it cult, but a part of this movement, right? So
Of
the
course.
movement of being a Boca fan. So they were, I saw them like going like this, like why are you guys doing this? I was like, I don't know, that's the way we do it. It's like, all right, I'm gonna start doing that, and I'm just they became Boca fans just from being there, and like they're like, I gotta be part of this, and I think that's the beauty of Boca because you can go to other games. Like if I go to a Real Madrid game, they play here 2 3 times in Miami, and I go to a game, you're not gonna be singing. I mean, the stadium's gonna be packed with Real Madrid
Yeah.
fans, but you're just gonna be sitting down and watching the game, which is fantastic, obviously.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna be part of anything. You're just there watching the game because you like football. These
Yeah.
people came and they felt part of something, right? I'm sure that even the Germans that were there, they left and telling me like, dude, what is this? I want to be part of this, right? And that's the beauty that I think that Boca fans left in this World Cup.
Yeah, no, for sure. Some of the fans from Bayern when Merentiel scored, like they were like looking at us like, all right, this, happy for you guys, So yeah, no, it was fantastic, man, and I really do hope that we make the next one, which we're kind of like behind schedule already, since we're not playing in the 2025 Libertadores, and that kind of earns points towards the next one. But we get 3 more. And for that, I'm just gonna, make the transition to like, if we want to get back to the Club World Cup, we gotta play Libertadores 2026, and for that, we need to start winning and just being better. So Boca came back to training this week after returning from Miami, and there's some news. Just I don't know if you wanna pick anything between just maybe the Paredes rumors or some of the injuries, or you
So
can take it.
to close the World Cup thing,
Yeah.
since so people know, so you got to some points there are 4 tournaments, right? For Copa Libertadores tournament. So we didn't qualify to this one, so we only have 3 more chances, right?
Yeah.
By making the math, right, we had to at least make the quarterfinals in the 3 of them to actually have a chance to make it by points. I mean, if you win one of them, you automatically qualify. So if we do not win it, we at least had to make the quarterfinals the next 3 tournaments. It's really tough, right? But again, if you win one, you're in. But I won it in 18 years, so it's going to be tough. So to summarize that for people that might not know how to qualify.
And not just that, obviously, this is going to be a conversation for when we actually return to Copa Libertadores. But like once we do, every game, especially in the group stage, every game, like we need to catch up. So like, it's unrealistic to expect the team to win 6 out of 6 and go. But like, Boca usually just kind of like, slacks off and like advances with like 8 points or 9 points. No, dude, we gotta get 14. We got to make up some ground. So that's going to be a big motivation, next time, when hopefully when we're back in Libertadores next year, that like, hey, dude, when we go on the road, we gotta win, or we have to like not lose at least. And at home, we gotta win everything. We gotta advance first, to try to get like an easier draw, from the round of 16 on, and then we just gotta get every point possible. Like we need to be serious. Like now we know, how it feels like to be there. So now we have that motivation. Before it was like oh, like that sounds really good, Club World Cup. That sounds. Now we know what it is, and we know how it feels. So I think and how much you can earn by being there, and even more so by advancing, like teams like Palmeiras are doing. They're just gonna be like swimming in money, So we just gotta be back, and that starts by making up ground in the group stages and winning as many games, and then trying to last time we made it with 3, right?
Yeah, last time we made it with 3 because again we made a final, right?
Yeah.
So we make round of 16, and the final. And that final we made it without even winning games.
I know.
So, but we need to why we talk about this, because the movement was amazing, the money that we got is amazing. Like Palmeiras made already 40 million plus, and that's 80 times winning the Argentinian tournament. So if you put in that perspective, like let's say that, now we can talk about the signings, right? So people talking about Paredes, right? So Boca has to pay 3.5 million to Roma for Paredes to come.
Yeah.
That's a 1 win in the Club World Cup.
Yeah.
A 1 win and a tie in the Club World Cup, and you can bring a top player.
Yeah.
So besides being there, that's the amount of money that this tournament is going to give us in the future. We got to take advantage of it. But yeah, so rumors have it that Paredes already said yes to Boca. Paredes is going to be the best paid player in the league, including every single team. Will deserve it, probably. He's 30, 31, class player. He should give us, a step into the team, right? His character, his way of playing. So far, unless I see him with the Boca jersey, I don't know what's going to happen. because I don't know what people are waiting. The people saying that they're waiting for him to go back from vacation because he has to execute the
Release
the
clause.
release clause. Yeah, um, it's a waste of time, to be honest. But I don't know how it is. I don't know how it works. I doubt it that people are going to be like waiting 10 more days if he gets back on vacation. If that's something you can do, probably send him an email. So like he has to show up and
Yeah.
do it manually. So hopefully he comes. Sadly, it's gonna probably come late. And now we start again with that, oh, he needs preseason now, he needs to get in shape.
Yeah.
And then when you realize that you're 5 games into a tournament and that's not good business.
No, I agree. I agree, and it's just kind of goes with the theme of just the lack of urgency in Boca, in the players, in the decision makers. And it applies to signings. It applies to players that should be gone. And it applies to how quickly we promote some of our best young players. It's just everything in Boca is slow, like methodical, but like not methodical in a good way, because it's not, if you told me it was like solid decision making one after the other, then I would buy it a little more. But like, yeah, with Paredes, sounds like he's coming. And I understand that he needed a vacation after playing back to back summers with the national team. I understand that part. I do want him to be like, once he puts on the jersey, to just be like full system, nonstop, like play every game. Especially this semester where like we only play once a week. Play every game, shine every game. So like I hate that he's not here already, and I hate that he's probably gonna miss 2 or 3 games. But from the moment he puts on the jersey, there's no more excuses. Like he should be like refreshed mentally, like he should be refreshed physically. Yeah, he might need some like like physical, just kind of like conditioning, but he doesn't excel with his conditioning. He excels with other stuff, and with the other stuff, he should provide from day one, and we're going to need him to, because we're going to pay him. We're going to match his Roma salary, which is like upwards of 3 million, I think. He might even be paid more than Cavani. It's fine. Like, he deserves it. He's a world champion. He's on his prime. Like, but we need him to just kind of like have the effect from day one. And in the meantime, obviously, we need everyone else to just start winning games. When we still don't have a confirmed day and date for the first match against Argentinos Junior, but like the rumors are that it's gonna be on Sunday the 13th, so 9 days from today. So yeah, so we don't have a lot of time to waste. So we need to get going, and we need other players, right?
Yeah, the good thing about Paredes, just to close that section, is that he's going to be motivated for next year, right?
For the World Cup.
For the World Cup, he has some motivation. Scaloni called him saying, "I'd rather you go to Boca and play than not be a sub in Europe."
Yeah.
So the fact that he has a solid year to prove himself, because he wants to be in the World Cup, he wants to be part of that. He's part of the national team. He has a lot of friends. Every time he goes, he posts things on social media. He's happy to be part of the national team. So the fact that he has a full year at Boca to prove that makes me feel a little bit better. It would have been worse if he comes after the World Cup, because then he has nothing to be motivated.
Yeah.
So his first year is going to be key, and we need that. We need somebody to come in now and actually have a great year.
Yeah, no, for sure, and that was one of the most exciting things for me for Paredes coming back now, as opposed to next summer after the World Cup, because I wanted to get that, like you said, that full year of him being like 100% like motivated, and also in the meantime he has the motivation of like getting the team back to Libertadores, or even winning a title, as the star of the team. And then there will be that uncertainty after the World Cup, where he would just basically like, it'd be up to him. Does he want to be like, an idol for the fan base, or does he just want to like earn his salary, play, well, but not be a star, and just kind of like coast, through retirement? So like, this
he's
year's
gonna have a lot of pressure, because he's gonna come in, right? It's gonna be start from day one. The press is gonna look at him every single day. They're gonna criticize every single thing that he's gonna do, because they don't want him to be in the World Cup next year. They're gonna try to, but he's gonna be taking every free kick. He's gonna be taking every corner kick. He's gonna be taking every penalty kick. He's gonna be the leader. I'm not sure if they're gonna get him the captain band, but he's going to be part of the captain,
I think so. I think he'll get it.
Committee, let's call it. So yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what he does. We'll see how it comes. I don't think we're going to see him in the next. I think it's going to be coming game 5, week 5, to be honest. If I had to guess, not going to happen before then. So we'll see.
Yeah, well, I mean, if obviously we can't do anything about that, but as long as when he does start playing, he plays every game and plays well, then we'll get through it. But until then, obviously, like just to give the fans some perspective, we have I think we have to play a Copa Argentina game before the end of July. I think the game against Atlético Tucumán, again, no date yet, but obviously it's going to be like midweek between once we get started. So there we're going to be playing for something, and obviously we need to earn like every point we can get to get to try to finish in the top 2 in like the tabla anual, the year-long standings that qualifies you to Libertadores, regardless of whether you actually end up winning the playoffs or not. And then we need to stay alive in Copa Argentina, because that's all. I mean, not only it's a title that we haven't won in a while, but like also just it's another avenue to make it back to Libertadores. We need to win everywhere.
You're 4 games away from the Libertadores. As simple as that. You win the 4 games in Copa Argentina, you're into Copa Libertadores. People should know that. All right. So other things that we should talk about. There's some injuries happening right now based on what the Boca account is telling us. So it looks like Herrera, Cavani, Costa, Mendia, and Jimenez are still injured. They're starting to practice with the team, but they're not there yet. For example, I read yesterday that Cavani did not train with the team, not because he's injured, just because apparently he wants to get in shape, but he's doing some like physical things.
Yeah.
The rest are what they call a little bit touched, a little injured, nothing major, but they probably have the typical fatigue, after like a long trip, a long way away from home, stuff like that. So we'll see how they're dealing with those injuries.
Yeah.
Apparently, Rojo and Batalla is also dealing with fatigue. Think about it. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players kind of like touch over fatigue. So that's a big number.
Yeah, and I think Russo's been trying to do some 2-a-days, to get the team physically fit, for the beginning of the Clausura. So, and obviously players hate that. So especially the veterans, they'll kind of do anything to get themselves out of at least one of those, sessions in the 2-a-days. So yeah, I think it's concerning. Cavani, we didn't hear him about getting re-injured when he played against Auckland City. So hopefully nothing happened, and it's like you said, where he's just trying to get in better shape and getting stronger for the stretch run. Ander Herrera did get injured in the 20 minutes into the Benfica game, and then he got sent off also. So he's probably gonna be gone a while. I think he should just be gone for good, but he at worst at the end of the year, he'll probably just realize that he just can't cut it right now. Awesome footballer, just pure class, but just physically just can't cut it anymore. And then Mendia, I think, also got injured. Ayrton Costa got injured. He got injured in the Benfica game, and then he toughed it out in the Bayern game, and he finally tore the muscle. So we knew that he'd be gone for at least 3 weeks, and he may or may not make it for the Argentinos game. But if not, we have Marco Pellegrino ready to step up, because from all reports, Marcos Rojo is basically done. They still haven't they haven't ended his contract yet, but all reports are that they're just gonna find a solution where he leaves the team. Maybe he goes back to Estudiantes or Inter Miami.
But also they're all rumors, because again, during the World Cup, I was talking, as soon as they get to Argentina, Rojo is done. As soon as they get to Argentina, Facu is done, Romero is done, even Lema, Ian Travel is done.
Yeah,
but again, July 4th, and nothing really happened. So we don't know, to be honest. That's the real thing. We don't know what's happening inside doors, right?
Yeah, I know. And there's only 3 players that are literally just away from the team, training. If the team trains in the afternoon, they train in the morning. And those guys are Rolón. They're gonna find him alone. I don't know why they didn't find him alone last semester. They just had him just running around the pitch for 6 months for no reason. Christian Lema apparently he's done again. He even offered apparently through some reports that to just basically just buy me out. Like I won't, just don't pay me. Just like end my contract so I can just go somewhere else. He's probably gonna be gone because like Russo clearly hates him, man, which with good reason. And then there's this like young left winger Simon Rivero, who also for some reason he was on loan with Union before, came back and they didn't find him another loan, which sucks because I think it's pretty promising. He could play for like a team like Union or Huracan or Lanús. He could do something. So like hopefully he goes out on loan and kind of reactivates his career. And yeah, I mean the rumors are the same rumors we've been hearing for a long time. Romero, they're saying that they're going to end this contract, or at the worst, he's going to leave as a free agent at the end of the year. Same situation with Frank Fabra. Again, probably no offers. He probably makes too much money, so he's just going to like stay, earn like cash in at the last check and just kind of be on the way out.
The worst thing that could happen, Rodri, would be if they renew these players.
Yeah, no, I think it would be the fan base would just like torch the stadium if they did that with Fabra or Romero. I think it's like like we've all kind of accepted. Okay, they're not playing anymore. They're just kind of like they have obviously contracts, so they have to get paid. So like at the worst, Rojo, Romero, and Fabra, they all have contracts run out at the end of the year, and they'll be gone at the end of the year if they don't find something before. But there's others.
And that'd be huge because that would be $5 million in contract money.
Yeah.
You can use. So let's say that Merentiel could come back and be like, listen, dude, I want to get paid more because now.
Yeah. Oh, that's coming. That's coming. Yeah.
I would be, if I was Merentiel, I would be today going knocking somebody's door and listen, dude, how come these 7 players are making more money than me and they're not playing? So you also want to have that. Ayrton Costa could be like, hey, I'm probably the next center back and fans love me now. So we got to have that money. And so we had to resign these players that are not part of the Boca. Nothing. Like they're not part of anything anymore. Yeah. So, get those 2 million from Romero, get that 1.5 from Rojo, get that 1.5 for Janssen, and use it to bring new players or maybe give younger players some money to be like, hey, dude, stay for us. Maybe you're not going to play too much now, but in 2 years, you can actually be part of something.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And like you said, I think obviously we need to sell some players too. And I think there's going to be offers for Merentiel. I think the team's going to try to keep him. But obviously, if you reject an offer, that obviously would pay Merentiel a lot more. Then Merentiel will be like, okay, I'll stay, but you got to make it up to me, So, and then we need to just sell some players, because we need to buy some more players, some of the rumored targets are like, Ceballos or Zenon could be some of the guys that could be realistically sold. If an offer comes in for Milton Delgado, obviously I love him. I know you do too, but Russo doesn't seem to like him too much, and that's Paredes' position. So if a good offer comes for him, not alone.
Also likes Bataglia in the middle as well.
Yeah, Bataglia as well. That's right, and he has Belmonte and Alarcón and a lot of players. But obviously, if a good offer from like Europe or something comes in for Milton Delgado, then like we have to sell. And then Racing is supposed to be interested in Milton Jimenez. Dude, I would sell him. Like, I don't care. Just like Merentiel and Cavani and like a kid from the academy is totally fine. Like Jimenez, he had a good stretch, but lately he's just out of shape. He's too slow.
One of the worst players in the World Cup.
Yeah. He was at the center.
It was really disappointing, right? Because we have a thing for him. Like, no one hates him.
No, of course.
He actually, when some things, scored some goals, but you can feel that he's not the player that's going to win you a Copa Libertadores. He's going to be the player that actually is going to score some goals when you need him as a good sub. But besides that, I'm going to take it from there. So we'll see. Anything else that you want to chat?
No, and I mean I think some of the potential signing rumors, Miguel Russo asked for some wingers, and especially someone on the right. But there's really been no rumors. It looks like Boca is just looking for a player on the right side. So there's some rumors about Felipe Loyola. He's like a right back or right mid. He plays in Independiente. And he's from Chile. He plays in the national team. He's really good. So it looks like they're gonna either try to pay his buyout or make an offer for him. I think it would be an excellent reinforcement, but like we'll see. if that ends up happening. And then yeah, just obviously 9 days out, we need to just kind of clear the roster. We need to bring a couple more players, and obviously all this is gonna, like, none of this is gonna happen by Argentinos Junior, because we know Boca and like just how slow things. I just, more so than specific players or specific players leaving, I just want to see more urgency from Boca. I don't think like the last image was Auckland City, and that was awful, and it showed like a lack of urgency and a lack of seriousness from Boca. And like now, the kind of the party is over, the World Cup is over. We're back in Buenos Aires. We're like back to business, and we need to win a title, and we need, at the very least, to go back to Copa Libertadores, and we need to secure the Libertadores before we get to the playoffs. I think a very reasonable objective is to, by the time the playoffs end, just to be in one of those top two spots in the year-long thing, so we're secure, so we can play the playoffs with like the monkey off our back. No pressure. We can play like the final stages of Copa Argentina without the pressure of having to win it, because like that's what happens to us every year, right? We get to the end of the year and we're like, oh my God, we have to win Copa Argentina, or we have to win the title. And like and even though that should be because of Boca's history, we should win Copa Argentina, we should win the title every year. But like just these
It's
players
extra
are so
pressure.
brittle mentally,
Yeah. I mean,
that
that's what happens. It's extra pressure that they have, right? Also, our players have told us, every single time how weak mentally they are. They are
yeah,
not strong players. They're not motivated by anything. We have Palacios coming out of his life. Like I told you, I told somebody after the Oakland game, Palacios tomorrow's going to go on live, showing him that he doesn't want to like be pressured, blah, blah. We have players like that. You're not going to go anywhere. Unfortunately, we didn't see that before. Now we have a player that's going to stay with us for at least 2, 3 years. He's mentally weak. So waste of money, but it is what it is. So those players don't have the attitude to actually come and have that extra pressure. So like you said, we need to try to qualify for those two spots. Platense won the last tournament, so they're not even close to the top three.
yeah,
So you had to be on the top two to actually qualify.
yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. Hope for the best, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's no other choice. So, but yeah, that's all we have. Hopefully next week we'll have some more certainties in the Paredes front, and then maybe in the signings, and hopefully in the players leaving, and especially also with knowing when we play and what time. So because I need Boca back in my life. I'm sure it's the same for you. It's nice to get a little break sometimes when things are going badly, but like eventually we just kind of were pining to get Boca back in our lives. So yeah, good to see you back, man.
And with that being said, thank you, Roddy. Once again, good to be back. So see you guys next time.